So welcome to this cybersecurity home lab. This home lab is going to be focused on building a SOC environment in the cloud, and we are going to be using Microsoft Azure to do this. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating a Honeynet, and the Honeynet is going to attract a lot of attackers because they are going to see it as something that's an easy target. And as they attack the Honeynet, the logs that are going to be generated from these attacks, we are going to now send them to one central a central repository. We're going to call it the log analytics in Azure. So we're going to be dumping all of the logs in log analytics. And then we are going to be spinning up incidents using Microsoft Sentinel, which is essentially like a SIEM that is going to be querying the log analytics just in case if there are any matches in a role or roles that we are going to create, essentially making it a whole SOC environment. So let's get started. Okay, so we're in our Azure portal. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to create a resource group. So click on resource group and let's take create. So I'm going to name this resource group. Let's see. Let's name this fiber. But let's name this Honeynet lab. I think this is an accurate description. And let's choose a region. I always like to choose Asian Pacific, Southeast Asia. Let's click on review and create, and let's create. So the resource group has been created. So after creating our resource group, what we have to do now is we have to create our virtual machines that we are going to be using. So I'll just type in virtual machines and let's create one. Let's create an Azure virtual machine. Great. So the resource group that we just created, let's choose the Honeynet lab. The virtual machine name, we can just name this the Windows VM. Windows VM is okay. And down to the image, let's use Windows 10 for our Windows VM. I'm going to be using standard ES V3. I just need something with at least 2 virtual CPUs so that the virtual machines might be a little bit faster. So the username, let me just say test user. Password, you can put any password that you want. Confirm the password. And good. Click on the licensing, confirm eligibility. Oh, I've made a mistake. I have not created the network. Let's see. I was supposed to set my networking. No, let's go back. Let's go back to networking. Let's take create new. Let's name this the Honeynet. You can name this a Honeynet network. And that's it. Let's just leave it like this. Let's click OK. Great. So let's click review and create. Give it some time. So validation passed, and let's click on create. So I'm just going to skip this. It does take a time for it to actually initialize and deploy for the VM to actually get created. It does take a while. So I'm just going to leave this and edit it out, and I'm going to be back. So the deployment is complete. Our virtual machine has been created. So we are going to also create one again. Let's take virtual machines. At this time, we would like to create a Linux, one for Linux, a Linux virtual machine. It's a virtual machine that we actually just created. So let's click on create and let's take an Azure virtual machine. The resource group, we want to make sure that we are choosing the resource group that we created. We want everything to be in the same resource group. Okay. And this is going to be the Linux VM. The region should be in the same region that we created before. I'm using Southeast Asia, so it has to be in the same region, please. And let's scroll down. So Windows 10, we don't want Windows 10 for this. We want we can use an Ubuntu server. Let's use like a Linux VM. Yeah, let's use a Linux VM for this. And going down, let me see the username. Let's just test user. The username is test user. This SSH. Okay, the authentication type, please. Let's use password authentication instead of this SSH public key. So now we can, when we are doing SSH, we can just SSH using the username and the password. The username is test user, and the password, you can put in your password that you want and confirm the password. I think that should be it. Let's go to networks. This username, I'm confused. I don't know if it's a very username I used in the Windows VM, but anyway, I'll fix that if that's not the case. So let's go to networking. So the network that we are going to choose, it is very important that we are adding this virtual machine in the same network that we created, that we added, or that we used with the Windows VM. I'm not seeing it here. Some reason. I don't know why. Let me try to refresh and see if it comes. So just try to refresh and let's see. Sometimes with Azure, it takes a while before they get it in their system. Let me just go to networking and see if it comes here. Okay, this is it. So let's go back to basics. The resource group, we are going to choose this resource group that we created, the Honeynet lab, the virtual machine name. We're going to put Linux VM. The region is Southeast Asia. Ubuntu server is the image, of course. So from SSH to password, the username, let's do test user, the password, of course, put in your password, confirm the password. Let's go to next, and let's go straight to networking, please. Okay, so it has picked it up. We'll have the Honeynet network that we created when we're doing the Windows VM. I think that should be it. So we can just click on review and create. And wait for it to do its thing, and you can click on create. So again, I'm going to cut this video here. It takes time before the virtual machine is actually deployed. So welcome back. The deployment is complete. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go back to our virtual machines, and we are going to open the firewall so that anybody can attack these our virtual machines. As it is right now, it's actually a little bit secure because Azure does have a built-in network security group that actually blocks people from trying to like remove desktop into this our virtual machines. So what we are going to do is we are going to go into the network security groups, and then we are going to try to disable, or we're going to try to get it done in such a way that we open the network so that anybody who is trying to attack us can like do it easily without having any blocks. So that's what we're going to do now. So let's do the Windows version first. So let's click on Windows VM, go to networking, go to network settings. So we'll go to network security group, click on network security group. The network security group almost acts like a firewall. So we want to do some editing to the inbound rules. As you can see, we have a deny all inbound here, which is going to like maybe block some people from discovering this Honeynet, this honeypot, sorry, or the Honeynet in any case. So what we're going to do is we want to edit this rule so that we don't want to deny everybody. We want to leave this open so that anybody can like, we are trying to entice people here. So we want to allow them to try their luck and try to get in. So I'm just going to delete this RDP rule. So we are going to create a new rule that we are going to customize. Click on settings and let's go to inbound security rules. Since that's what we want, let's click on add source. So we want from any source, from any port range, from any destination. The service, let's say for these services, I don't think this is an issue. Let's just leave that. Destination port range. We want this destination port ranges to be any. So we can just add like a wildcard. The protocol should be any. Yeah. We want to allow. We want to give this a lower priority than the rest because if it's lower, it's going to get evaluated first before any other rule. I will give it a name, allow. We can just put something here like just to differentiate the rule. We can say dangerous, something like this. Dangerous to show that this rule it's not a good rule. You can describe it if you want. Maybe we can just say like allows Honeynet traffic. Something like that. And immediately you see it start telling you that, oh, something is wrong. But let's add this. It's okay. By doing this, we are actually exposing our network to outside attackers for them to discover the network and then try to attack it. So you see, it places it above and allow. Good. So this is for the Windows VM. We'd like to do the same for the Linux. So let's go back to the virtual machine. So we want people to get this Linux VM. We want them to see it and try to attack it. Right now, we'll do the same under networking. Go back to network settings. The network security group, which is almost like the firewall, Azure's firewall, and SSH. Let's delete SSH. Wait for it to delete. Let's go back to the inbound security rules. Let's add. So source any. The source port is any. Probably the same thing. Let's give this a wildcard. Any port range. You want to make sure we are allowing the lower priority than the rest so that it gets evaluated first. That's the same dangerous. Allow. We can just describe it as Honeynet traffic allowed, or any other thing that you want to do to just describe what this is. And we can click on add. So it creates a rule, let it do its thing, and great, the rule is created. So our virtual machines right now are vulnerable. Anybody can find them online and then try to attack them in any way, maybe like brute force them or something. So if you are eager to like see how you can actually log in into these virtual machines, just go to your virtual machines and make sure you copy the IP address. And we want to log in using RDP. Let's see, remote desktop, and let's connect. More choices, use a different account. The username, was it test user? I think it was. And then you put in your password. And just click on yes. So anyway, we are really through. We are done with the lab. I just wanted to show you how you could like log in if you've never logged in using RDP before. So this is how you do it. So in the next lab, what we are going to do is we are going to be collecting, we are going to be using log analytics to like collect the logs that we are going to receive from the bad guys like trying to attack us and everything. We're going to collect the logs and then we're going to send them to log analytics in our Microsoft, in our Azure. So I said that. So that we can have a centralized workspace, a centralized place where all of our logs are being sent. So this is it. This is the Windows VM that we just created. That's the end of the lab. In the next lab, that's what we are going to do. Bye-bye.